Hi, welcome to New Jersey Wedding Podcast. Thank you for joining us today. We are your hosts, Andrea Pertel and Celia Milton, and we are both full-time professional wedding officiants here in the state of New Jersey. And we thank you so much for joining us today as you plan your wedding. How's it going with you today, Celia?
It's good. It's not snowing and
I
it's
know.
not really cold.
Hey, I went out to mail some packages and to take the dog for a walk, and it's actually pretty mild out
It
today. It's
is.
funny because we had some really cold weather, like
I know.
29 degrees, and today it's mild. But this weekend, because I was checking for the weddings this weekend,
Mhm.
what it was going to be like, and it's going to be like 29 degrees.
I think that's like really cold. I'm in one of the places we're going to mention, which has lots of fireplaces, and it's like very cozy and warm and wintry and sweet and nice. And I'm still going to have like my thermal tights on. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that is what we're talking about today is winter
winter
weddings.
weddings, yeah.
And people love winter weddings. I love winter wedding dresses, and we'll speak about
Mhm.
that. Another fun aspect of winter weddings. But winter is a romantic time of year, and
Yeah.
it's got the romantic holidays in it. It's the holiday season with Christmas and New Year's fall in the winter, and they're
Valentine's
festive.
Day and Groundhog's Day. Don't forget Groundhog's Day.
Yeah. But those are all like festive and
Yeah.
fun and even Valentine's Day associated with love, but all winter is, it's cozy. You want to get together and have, warm drinks in front of a fireplace, that type of thing. So a lot of people do love winter weddings. And I will say this, I think you can get in many cases, you can get a good price
Yes.
on a winter wedding versus,
Yes.
an October wedding or a
Yeah.
July wedding,
Yeah.
especially where I am at the shore. It can be more budget friendly to have your wedding,
Yeah.
January or February.
And I think something that's nice too is that, if you start thinking about, like the end of when, maybe like mid-January into the end
Mhm.
of February, it's like the holidays are over. People are kind of like, we all have that kind of like holiday letdown. It's like, oh, now
Yeah,
what? And it's like,
we're bored,
really,
right?
it's such a great time to get married because
I think so.
which is a little bit of a warning for your guest list because if you think that 20% of your people aren't going to show up, sorry, they have nothing else to do. They love you, but they're going to come because it's like, yay, look at this. We get to leave the house. This is so great.
Yeah. And with the winter weddings, you mentioned a venue. You're going to be at what's it? I know Mountain Creek is near you, and you're going to
Mhm.
be there, and you're going to be at a couple of other places soon that we were just talking about that can really have a cozy vibe because they have fireplaces in the middle of
Oh
them,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
like Mountain Creek, like you're going to be there. That's an actual ski resort, right?
It's a ski resort. It's a mountain biking place in the summer and it flips I think in mid-November. I actually did a wedding there the day that it flipped from mountain biking to skiing. It's like, oh, the mountain bikers, they really need to get one last run in. It was like crazy, but it's so fun. It's the actual ceremony or the reception space. It's like it's got like a chalet feeling to it. It's like rustic wood and high ceilings and I mean, a lot of these places they're beautiful all year long, but there's
Mhm.
something I think that every single one of them that we because we were making a little list of places we wanted to talk about, I think they all have fireplaces, if not one, like multiple. Like Waterloo Village, I think they have a fireplace in every single space there.
Right, right. Yeah, and I was there were a couple of others the Raritan Inn. I've been
Oh,
there
that's so
for a
cute.
wedding. And it
Yeah.
is a barn like rustic feel, but then they have that big fire pit in the
Oh,
back
so
and
cute.
you can get blankets and you've got the big fire pit going and you could do, s'mores around there. It just adds to the look and the Ryland Inn, they have that big fireplace outside.
Oh, yeah.
Um
Yeah.
and I've been at wineries where they put the fire, the heating. units outside. What are they called? The tall
The big,
propane.
tall, fiery things, those
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
It's
That
like-
adds, so, they add to it. It gives it a cozy, and you can still go outside maybe for cocktail hour or the ceremony or something.
yeah. It's,
Uh,
it's so sweet. And I think I'm looking at the list of places we talked about. Every single one of them has at least one fireplace.
right,
A
right.
number of them, they have the fire pits outside, which are that's really kind of fun too. And it's just, I don't know. I just think there's something really magical about it. And, that covers.
Main line in Manahawkin, they have a big
Mm.
fireplace, and so does the Grinville Inn. And I will tell
Oh
you,
yeah.
we had a great interview with
Mhm.
Maureen at the Grinville Inn. That was this season, season 5, episode 9. That's a perfect place for micro weddings.
So cute. I'm so
Yeah.
and you can stay there too. I mean, that's like
Yes.
great. It's so
Yes.
great. Um,
618 has a fireplace in it. And some of these, just a funny little note, like if you're at, the Smithville Inn, or they have a fireplace, they
oh
decorate.
yeah.
I don't know if they get that really roaring, but you can stand in front of the fireplace at the mainland or the Grinville Inn to do the ceremony, and you have that fire going behind you. Boy, that gets hot, right? I'll be
Yes,
standing
it
there
does.
thinking,
Yes.
I wonder how much, probably shouldn't have put so much hairspray in my hair. I might catch.
Feeling a little bit flammable. I know. It's funny. Um, but there's so many of them. I mean,
Oh,
Waterloo has two buildings, and they both have beautiful big fireplaces that, the the cocktail hour in one is like on one side of the fireplace and the dinner's on the other. And it's like so cozy. Waterloo also has a fire pit, and plus they have, well, alpacas, it's
yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah.
I know.
Alpacas.
We have to, like, every time we mention them, we have to mention the alpacas. But Rock Island and Bear Brook also have beautiful fireplaces in the buildings and fire pits and just gorgeous, gorgeous. I mean, I'm going to assume that most of these venues are going to start posting photos, like winter photos that are so inspiring because it just, we don't want like a lot of snow. We want like that snow globy kind of snow, just like a little
Right,
bit of snow. But
right.
it's so pretty. It
I
really is.
love the thought of going to like the Wolverton Inn. You have a
Yeah.
fireplace in your
Oh
room.
yeah.
You're in that beautiful romantic New Jersey getaway area near New Hope,
It
Lambertville,
is. It's like a Hallmark movie, and you can be in it. It's like
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
It's beautiful. And even if your dream venue doesn't have a fireplace. So I was saying I was at the English Manor last year, and it was around Christmas time, and they
Hmm.
had it decorated with the decor so beautifully for winter. It just gave a cozy feel, and they have those great windows in their reception room where you just see the whole outside,
Oh, so pretty.
So,
Yeah.
and that with the coziness of the decor that they set up, really, it was beautiful. It made it feel cozy and like you were in a winter
Yeah.
wonderland. So you can do it with decor ideas,
Mhm.
such as candle lights, the twinkle lights and drapery, and
Well, and, when people are looking for their venues, it's not a bad idea. I'm like thinking like the Old Mill Inn and the Grain House are historic places, and they are so decorated and so beautiful with the trees and the lights and the garlands, and
oh,
it really.
they're already decorated
Yeah,
for you.
you know what? It's true. I mean, you really you don't need to add a whole lot to either one of those places and many of these
Right.
other places too. And it's really worth talking to, when you're doing your walkthrough or your consultation with their salespeople. It's like, what does it look like, and when does it happen?
Right,
You
right.
know, when does, because I was at Pleasantdale a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to be there this weekend, and it's kind of like real life where it gets progressive from, like, okay, we have like one little tree, now we have three little trees, now we have five big trees, and it just gets like through, it like progresses through until Christmas when it's just like, oh my. This is like so great. I'm so excited to go there this weekend because I know it's going to be like poinsettia and tree heaven for
Gonna
me.
be
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh,
It's
take
gonna be
lots of
gorgeous.
pictures.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's gonna be gorgeous. But
yeah,
I feel like there's, that whole feeling of like the pine and the garlands, even when we get out of that like Christmas kind of vibe and, to some extent the Hanukkah kind of vibe. And I think, we get into that sort of nice, clean, crisp, wintry, candly fire pit kind of vibe. Oh, it's so neat. And
yeah.
yeah,
And the other things you can do, if they, of course, if the venue decorates, that's a plus. If you go to something
yeah.
like the Raritan Inn or some other place and you want to add your decorations, which you would have to, always the velvet or the faux fur accents, like the
Mhm.
velvet table runners across your tables for the,
Oh yeah.
that, and then, and seasonal florals and, of course, it's a great excuse to have the hot beverage stations with like the hot cocoa or the
Oh, totally.
mulled wine, or and make your maybe your signature winter cocktail with there's always the winter sangria, which is a favorite of mine, but any
Mm.
kind of hot toddy.
Mm. Well, I know the last time I was at Pleasantdale, like last week, I think, um one of their signature stations for cocktail hour was Moscow Mules. They have like a station where they do two or three different flavors of it. And there were like so many people walking around with those little copper mugs. And you know what? It sounds weird, but kind of became decor. It's like all these people with their little copper mugs. It's like, oh wow, this is like a great Christmas party. I love this. It's
Yeah.
great. I
And
know.
um you can, if you're giving favors to your guests, if you've decided on doing that, keep that winter theme up with maybe um, ornaments or hot chocolate kits or
Hmm.
personalized mugs, something like that. Hot
I love
chocolate.
the hot chocolate kit. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
such a great idea. It's
yeah.
it's so cute. There's some more kits, and I feel like, winter, it's a great time for weddings, partly because it's not as busy for your guests as other times of the year, that, they don't have 10 graduations and, you know, all those kind of spring things that happen and obviously spring weddings. It's like, gosh, it's winter. Wow. Yeah, let's do something. This is so great. It's
Yeah,
really
and
fun.
winter, it really is can be a magical time of year. What are the seasonal palettes when you think about your color palette? I mean, obviously the winter whites
Yeah.
and the deep tones like the emerald greens and the
Mm,
burgundies and stuff. Or you can go
yeah,
with the
great.
icy frosted thing with the icy blues or the ice grays and things like that. I mean, you know, um,
Oh, velvet tuxedo jacket.
velvet
Oh my God, I
tuxedos
love
or
them.
even the colored, yeah, the velvet
Yeah.
tuxedos. I think that's very
Oh,
sophisticated and gives them a chance to, I don't know, show off a little, have
to
something
step out a
special
little bit.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And of course,
Yeah.
for the women, I started off with saying this. I love winter wedding gowns and the faux fur wrap.
Oh yeah, I know. I know the little like furry things and little, I know a couple of years ago, like those little like kind of shrunken hand knit white sweaters were like the big deal. And there's so many ways to kind of work with that. Because even if it's like really cold, probably you're going to want to take some pictures outside, right? I mean,
Right. When
I would
and it's
imagine so. Yeah. And so that brings to mind the absolutely perfect gift for your bridesmaids is
yep.
fleece lined Spanx. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Fleece lined like tights, like nobody even needs to know they have them on under those gorgeous dresses, but they will thank you the day after. Yes, they will. I like it.
Yep,
I
yep.
like it.
And maybe if you're lucky enough, at some point you get some snow flurries out there to go out
Yeah,
and take some pictures outside. But if not, don't worry. Your DJ can usually do, if you want to have your
that's
first
right.
dance in snow, they can do the little snow machine and have the first dance in snow. Or if you prefer not to put that in your budget, or if it doesn't not allowed at your venue, you can always have the snowflake light projections on the dance floor.
Okay, I like
That'll
that.
give that ambiance of neat.
Well, then you can carry that through even to like your cocktail hour. Um,
Mhm.
with some of those great drinks, like your signature drinks could be a mulled wine, a sangria, the Moscow Mule. I don't think Moscow Mules are hot though, but they could be. Oh, why not?
I know, but I
Oh,
do always think of them as a winter drink for some
yeah,
reason.
I do too. Like a hot mulled wine, and it all smells so good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder
And,
why.
there's so many like fun foods that you can do at that time of the year, like little
Yeah.
pot pies and little tiny grilled
Oh.
cheeses, and I'm sure. Oh, yeah,
Comfort food,
really,
right?
really
Wintertime comfort food. I love that.
good.
The little pot pies and what
I
else?
like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I think though that it's it's a good thing to keep in mind like what challenges are you going to have and how can they be negotiated. It's like challenge number one for me because I'm always like freezing is like you want to take pictures outside. How do you like deal with that? Well, everybody brings their coats and maybe you have those fleece lined Spanx. I'm not a spokesperson for Spanx, but I think it's a great idea.
But we would invite you to, we do offer
Yeah, we do
advertisement
offer like we have
space, so
advertisements. We could do that.
call
But
us.
if you think about other people's comfort too, I mean, we've all done, we've done weddings where it's like 45 degrees. It's like we're going to be outside. It's like, well, that's maybe not the best idea for the ceremony part. For your pictures, maybe, an after party thing with a fire pit, fantastic. But most of your relatives do not want to sit out in the
Although
cold for
when
50.
I've done those in outside, like the one at the winery, and they had the heaters lining there, and
Mhm.
they had the big basket as people came in with, and this is what they gave away too. Everybody
Mm.
got one of these. This was the kind of their gift to everybody. It had a nice blanket in there, and the tag said to have and to hold in case you get cold. And people wrapped themselves in the blankets to watch the ceremony, you
You
know?
know, I think that like if you have your heart set on being outside, because a lot of these places that we talked about have beautiful outside space. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously like Skylands Manor in Ringwood, absolutely gorgeous. Mountain Creek, Waterloo, they all have beautiful outside spaces. Let people know. You let people know that they're going to be outside so they can prepare for that. And I don't think that that's a bad idea, you know?
And even the Ryland Inn, they have that in the ceremony space. They have that big stone fireplace right there
Mhm.
to the side. I've
Yeah.
been there when they light that and have that going for the ceremony.
Yeah, David's does too. David's redid their ceremony space recently within the last couple of years, and the backdrop is a gorgeous, humongous fireplace. It's absolutely stunning.
Mm.
But I think if people know kind of what they're in for, it's like they'll put on an extra pair of socks, they can prepare for it. And a lot of these venues are so beautiful outside that it's not doable, but if everybody knows what to expect and you do your part to make everybody comfortable. And I have to say, from our part, I try to make our outside ceremonies in the winter a little bit shorter.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Uh, and then if you do have one where that has a fire pit, and that's optional if people want to go around the fire pit and do s'mores or just
Mhm.
hang out there, you can always rent vintage furniture and blankets for the fire pit area so people can kind of cuddle up on the small couches, the settees and stuff like that. And we did do an interview with Heartfelt Rentals.
Oh yeah, they have great
Was
stuff.
that was episode 73 of this season, and she has all kinds of stuff like that. So you can,
Hmm.
and that's kind of a cool photo op too, So yeah, you can really add some winter magic to
It's just
from a
it's a little bit different way of thinking about it. And even when it gets to like writing the ceremony, that there's things that could be included in that ceremony that make it feel like a winter ceremony and
yeah.
not a summer. We're not standing on the beach in our bare feet kind of ceremony, you know?
Exactly. Yes, very much so. You're so right. I love personalizing and customizing a ceremony, finding the right reading for that venue, that time of year. Oh,
Mhm.
yes, exactly.
It's cool. You know what? It's a great way to maximize your choices for venues and, plan other vendors that you need. Um, Frankly, most of us are not all that busy in January, February, and March. So you
Yeah.
can really, you can get your pick of people and they're going to be thrilled to be there. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Because everybody, so,
I think it's
so,
it's it's fun. It's a different way of think. It's a little bit different way of thinking about the day.
yeah.
And but I love it. I think I have one or two coming up every weekend from now until March, and I'm really enjoying writing them with, readings that are seasonally oriented and, that sort of sense that we have of a calmness, an excitement about the new year, but a calmness in entering into something new.
Yeah, yeah. I have two coming up in January at some big venues here, and I'm sure that the price is going to be probably better for them in January than if had they booked it in the height of summer.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's a great way to, check it out, and especially if you're winter folks, and that's kind of nice to have your anniversary in the winter. Think of that every year. It's
Yeah,
right in the
kind of like
middle
that.
of nothing.
I kind of like it. We have something to celebrate in the middle of the dark gray days that are between Christmas and whenever it gets to be spring, right? You're engaged. That is just great. But right after that excitement, stress can sneak in like a surprise RSVP. Traditional weddings are beautiful, but they can also be expensive and complicated and, frankly, a little overwhelming. What if your wedding could be everything you dream of, minus the drama? At NJ Vows Now, we believe your special day should reflect your unique love story, not some outdated list of rules. You can have all the wedding and none of the stress. We have sweet little parks and pretty gardens from the Hudson River to the Jersey Shore to the lush forests of the North and the West. We'll connect you with a curated network of amazing vendors who will understand your vision and respect your budget. We're all passionate, professional, dedicated to making your wedding a relaxed, unforgettable experience. Yes, you still need a license, but we can help you with that too. It's fast, it's easy, and you can still throw a big party later if you want. Doesn't that sound great? Of course it does. So just ditch the drama, vow to be different, and reach out to us at njvowsnow.com. We will have the confetti cannons ready.
Did you have a winter wedding? Let us know where you had it, what
Yeah.
you loved about it. Is there something you included that you are so happy you included? Is there something you didn't do that you wished you did? Or do you have any questions about planning your wedding? Message us. You can go ahead and instant message us on all of our social media is New Jersey Wedding Podcast. So leave a message on Instagram or contact us through our website. There's a contact form. And again, it's New Jersey Wedding Podcast. We want to hear from you. We'd love to share your advice with other couples planning their wedding. And we, of course, would love to answer your questions. Don't worry, we do not share your information. We do not mention you. We just answer your questions or share your advice. You're not going to get any spam from us. And but we'd love to hear from you.
Yep, it'll be great. And you know what? It's fun to plan a wedding at any time of the year, but I think it's really kind of fun to plan it at a time when everybody's going to be so looking forward to being there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
excellent.
thank you for joining us today, and happy winter.
Yes.
Stay warm. This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes, yes.